How are you? Well, I'm just done scarfing down some ham and honeydew. So, I feel very nourished for this speech. Well, it is my pleasure to be here with you guys this morning. The last time I was in Lake Placid was in 2002 for a junior nationals. And I was juvenile. And I remember that I was second in the qualifying round, and my mom was so excited that she started crying. And we skated on the 1932 rink that's here, so not the big arena that we were at yesterday. The intermediates were on the big arena, and I remember thinking, oh my god, I wish I was intermediate. And so little did I know I would have to wait about 15 years, and I would be skating on the 1980 rink. So, how did I get started in skating? So, it's Christmas time, and have you guys ever gotten those popcorn tins, and they have the skating vignettes on them? Popcorn is a very essential part of this story. So, there's this vignette, and it was this couple from the 1800s, and they're locking arms, and they're in the first skate ever, and they just look like they're having so much fun, and I just was oh my god, I want to be that couple from the 1800s. And my mom would take me skating every winter, and every winter I was I'm going to be just like that couple. I get on the ice, fall flat on my face, and be you know what, I just want a hot chocolate, and I want a soft pretzel, and I'm going to get out of here. And so that repeated itself. And I even had this one fleece jacket, and I was I'm gonna look so good out there. And I was I just really want a muff. I was an 8-year-old too, but I really had a flair for fashion. So finally, I went to one of my friends' birthday parties, and I just had so much fun being out there on the ice. And I was always really athletic, but I was always the shortest kid in my class, picked last for all the teams. I played baseball when I was younger, and to just give you a brief story of how dedicated I was to baseball, I once asked my mom, what do people look like when they faint? And my mom could tell already that I was masterminding a plan to faint in the outfield so that I could get out of playing baseball. And my mom said, if you faint, I'm going to kill you. So, I was an athletic phenom from a very young age.
You can have a second career in passion.
Yeah, well, so far it's been popcorn vignettes and paintings, so I'm off to a good start. So then I finally started skating, and I loved being active, but in skating I finally found something, it was an individual sport, it was something that I was good at, something that I really enjoyed doing. And my birthday is in November, it was a few weeks ago, and as my 10th birthday present, my mom signed me up for the group lesson classes. And so to make a long story short, here I go now. But you know what, I think sports in general and skating really teach you so many life lessons. It makes you grow up very quickly, and it really pushes you to be an adult. And it pushes you to be better than you think that you can be. It's really hard to learn some difficult lessons in front of thousands of people. And it can feel embarrassing, and it can feel like you've let your family down, let your coaches down. But I've learned in my time as a competitive skater that it's not what you've done, it's what you do, and it's how you react to those situations. And that's what defines a champion, and that's what defines a winner. A winner isn't always somebody who comes away with a gold medal, because there are many, winners who go and then, their life gets off track, and my life is already off track. But I digress. But a winner is somebody who, when you walk out of the arena, they made some sort of impact, that they spent an extra 5 minutes with you, that they treated their competitors with the same respect that they wanted to be treated with by their competitors. You treat people the way that you want to be treated, and you let your work speak for itself. And to me, that's what defines a champion. And I think that in sports, you have to learn that. You have to come to a place where you realize that. So a little bit about my career. When I was young, so I started pretty late. I was 10 years old when I started. It was just, I wasn't getting the hang of it, of that 1800s vignette on the top of the screen. So I had to wait a little bit until I got over that. But once I got over that and I started skating, and I just loved it. I couldn't be taken away from the ice. All I wanted to do was be on the ice. I would only watch skating videos. I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. But I was really obsessed. I have the VHS tapes to prove it. So I had been skating in Philadelphia for a few years, and then I moved to New Jersey, and this is the first time I was working with a bigger coach. And in that year, I had a lot of success. I was a junior world champion. I won the US junior title for the first time, and then the next year, I was junior world champion again. And then it was my first time dealing with an Olympic experience in 2010. So in 2010, I had this really off chance of making the Olympic Games if Jeremy Abbott, Johnny Weir, or Evan Lysychuk somehow decided that they lost a skate, or a limb, or wanted to quit. And I was like, I'm going to be there for that shot. And, it still hurt when I didn't make the team. But I was like, you know what, I'm young, I'm 20, I have the whole world. The world is my oyster, and anything is possible. So I went to 4 continents that year, and I won, and I was like, oh, skating is so easy. Everyone should try it. And after that, I was like, the next 4 years are mine. I can see it. I can see my path right to Olympic gold. And the next few years were anything but what I thought they would be. I put these unrealistic expectations on myself of, I needed to be perfect all the time in all of my competitions and all of my practices. And it just wasn't realistic, and I was setting the bar so high for myself, and I was setting myself up to fail. Of course, when you're in the moment and you live in your own bubble, it's hard to see outside of that. And you're like, no, I'm just being focused. And then when you see yourself from the outside, you're like, no, I was just being insane and crazy. And I can say that I was being insane and crazy because I didn't have perspective of what really mattered. Not just in skating, but in life in general. At the end of the day, it's sports. And the whole point of sports is to better yourself as a person. You can't control your competitors, you can't control the judges, but you can control the way that you feel at the end of a competition. And if you know that you put 100% into all of your practices, you know that no matter what the result is, you have to walk away and be 100% satisfied and proud of yourself. Because it takes a lot of guts to go out there and bury yourself in front of all of those people. And if you give 100%, that's all you can ask for. But if you have the mentality, I will guarantee you that you will have success. I wish I was able to say that to myself 8 years ago, but I wasn't. So I had to learn the hard way of getting there. So there were a lot of ups and downs, and then heading into the Grand Prix series of the 2014 Olympic season, I was skating well, and I was like, finally coming together, like, and this is great. This is all coming together at the right time. But I had lost perspective, and the only thing I was focused on was going to the Olympics. I was consumed by it, and I was like, I'm going, and like, I have to go. If I don't go, like, you know, maybe I'm 24, look at all of my competitors, they're 24, they retire. And I was like, damn, like, I need to get this together. So, I was thinking all the wrong things. I remember going into like one of my jumping classes in my short program. This is just to like let you know what sort of like mindset I was in. I was going into one of my jumping classes and I was like, if I land this, I'm going to go to the Olympics, and if I fall, I won't. And then I stepped into the jump and I didn't land it, so. But that's not the mindset that I have now. You know, I just focus on one thing at a time. You take it one step at a time. But this can be applied to anything in your life. Whether you're at a job interview, whether you're taking a test at school, that's what sports teach you, that you need to put it all into perspective. So not making the 2014 Olympic team was maybe one of the most devastating things that has ever happened to me in that specific moment. It seems pretty dramatic, and I'm very lucky that in my life, not making the Olympics is something that I consider devastating. But it's one of the things I'm most grateful for and would never want to change. Because in that moment, I think it was most devastating because I didn't know really who I was. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have a clear vision of why I was going. My only reason for skating was to go to the Olympics. And then that was taken away from me, and I was like, okay, I don't know who I am, what I'm doing, why am I here? But because of that moment, I had to ask myself the very tough questions of, okay, why am I doing this? Why do I put myself through that, that whole day before a competition where all I want to do is like eat Nutella and throw up? Why did I do it? There has to be some sort of point, and I couldn't find the point. I said, why do I perform? I'm doing everything I think everybody wants me to do, and then I realized that was the problem. I was doing everything that I thought everybody wanted me to do. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I wasn't being authentic to myself. So then I said, F it. I'm going to do this for myself. And that mentality didn't come overnight, but it's something that I still hold true. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, Adam's so sassy, and he's so brassy, and he's so handsome, and he's so he's so beautiful, and he's rich. But besides all that, but I now am truly confident in who I am and what I can show to people. And, in 2015, I came out as gay, spoiler alert, publicly. And that was something that was really important to me because being gay isn't something that defines me, but it made me feel very easy for me to be authentically who I was, even here at a Friends and Figure Skating breakfast. Because I just feel like you know more of who I am and what I'm about. And when I was able to do that, I started to kind of own who I was. And it's something so silly and so, that shouldn't be part of our culture, but it is. And after that, I started kind of owning who I was. And I did some crazy things. I dyed my hair blue, I dyed my hair green. It's just taking a rest now. But I kind of had that mentality of like, if I want to do it, what's stopping me? If you want to go after something, what's stopping you? What are you afraid of? And I said, I'm only afraid of like what people will think. And I said, that's a horrible way to live. That's living in fear. You're fearful of what other people will think. Who cares? I'm telling you, nobody cares. And I would constantly, from that moment on, put myself through exercises of just doing things that were sort of a little outrageous, because I was like, no. Put yourself in this situation because it doesn't matter. If you want to try it, you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Nothing is stopping you. You have to live fearlessly. And it takes courage to live fearlessly. It takes courage to be brave. But we can all be brave. We all have the strength to be brave. If there's something that you want to go after or something you want to do, there's nobody stopping you except for yourself. And as soon as we realize that it's only us that gets in our own way, it's a very liberating and it's a very powerful place to get to. It's truly only us that gets in our own way. It's not you were dealt a hard set of cards or whatever, I don't know the saying. But you know what I mean? Like, oh, a hard, I don't play cards. Oh, a rough deck. A bad hand, is that it? Yeah. A bad hand. Oh, let's give it a bad hand. When you're given that bad hand, how do you react from that? How do you turn it into a positive? Learn from that. And then when you learn from that, okay, you know what? I'm going to own this. I'm going to own it. It's part of my story. It's going to help me be the person that I'm going to be. And in the biggest lesson I've had in the last 4 years, I'd say the last 4 years of my life have been the most transformative. That I've learned to live fearlessly and not be afraid. And when you, like I said before, when you live fearlessly and when you live very authentically, it's very easy to have success. It comes very easily. I realized that, you know, my passion or, you know, going to the Olympics, that's great. I know so many Olympians, and we have some in the room with us today. Nate Bartholomew was on the 2014 Olympic team. Nate, actually, we competed together all the time, and I never beat Nate. Never.
I still tell people that.
Yeah. But, as someone who hasn't gone to the Olympics, and I'm sure somebody who has, he will tell you it's not everything. That the next day you wake up, and you're an Olympian, but life goes on. And like I said before, being a champion is more than a medal. And that Olympic mentality of faster, higher, stronger that's a lifestyle. And having an Olympic lifestyle is more important than being an Olympian. And so I've learned that my true passion was I wasn't just going to the Olympics. If I want to go to the Olympics, girl, get a ticket. Go on Craigslist. Search Olympics, you'll find something. Curling, at least something. Because if you want to go to the Olympics, you just want to go, get a ticket. But I realized that my passion was bettering myself every day. I love going into the ring every day because that's my work. And I love my job. I get to do what I love every day. I push myself further and further than I thought I could go. And I know I'm better than I thought I would be. And I know that I can keep bettering myself because I don't think, okay, I'm 28. Well, holy God. Nathan Chen is 18, so that was 10 years ago. But you know, it's all relative. Because I have to think, you know, to myself, like, okay, do I think I can get better? Yeah, I think I can get better. So then I don't care. I'm going to just keep going and focus on myself. And I'm going to focus on doing what I can do to the best of my ability. And that's what we can all do in every facade of our life. So, I just lost lost my train of thought.
Because you're 20 years.
Yeah, it is. But, so what I want to leave you with today is that we're all so lucky to have your support behind us, because you guys help us to live out our dreams. And there are times when it can be very hard, but it's moments like this and breakfasts and gatherings like this where we're really reminded that there are people out there who genuinely want to help us, because the road is hard. But this reminds us that we're not on this road alone, and it doesn't have to be lonely. And there are times when it can feel lonely. But what I can tell you is, from your support and from all of your love and your donations and everything that's meant so much to me, and coming from a family that doesn't have a lot, and having lived a life where at one point I just had $0 in my bank account, and I had to steal apples from my gym to eat something, it means a lot, because I've taken those experiences and I've learned from them, and I want to thank you. Thank you so much for all of your help, because I'm here today because of you guys. And we're all here at this Skate America because of you guys, and it means so much to us. And I can tell you that because of you guys, I'm able to go after my dreams, and more than that, feel like I'm a much better person because of skating and because of sports. So I just want to thank you guys so much for everything that you did. I'm Rippon.